File item 26, AB 2687, Mullen. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2686 by Assemblymember Mullen and others, and act relating to elections.
Mr. Mullen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, AB 2686 creates an opt-in statewide pilot for all mail ballot elections in the event of a vacancy in the legislature or Congress. California consistently faces a combination of low turnout and high cost when special elections are called due to a vacancy in legislature or Congress. The cost of a special election can range from $500,000 to $1 million or more, and this cost is not usually built into local budgets due to the unexpected nature of special elections. While California struggles with a voter turnout crisis even in general elections, special elections are even more likely to result in vast underrepresentation due to low turnout. All mailed ballot elections have the potential to increase turnout, particularly in minority populations. AB 2686 has been crafted with input from various groups and interests and provides a number of protections to ensure voter outreach and education occur. AB 2686 is about expanding the opportunities for all mailed ballot elections to occur, and I ask for an aye vote.
Ms. Gonzalez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Ms. Speaker. Today I rise as joint author of AB 2686 in strong support. Special elections in California are notorious for their low turnout, sometimes only having less than 10% of the registered voters come out. It's clear that the way we conduct these elections are broken. A few years ago, I authored a pilot program for San Diego County to conduct mail ballot special elections. It was clear that this needed to be extended. That is what this bill does. It also cleans up to allow, if there are legislative or congressional seats that go beyond the San Diego County, that those people can also do an all-mail election as their counterparts in San Diego do. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing, hearing no further debate, Mr. Mullen, you may close.
Just thank my colleague from San Diego for her joint authorship and support and leadership on this issue, along with my colleagues on Elections Committee who've been looking at these issues closely. And with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 51, noes 14. The measure passes.
Items 27, 28, 29, pass and retain. We're at file item number 30. That's AB 1820. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1820 by Assemblymember Quirk, and act relating to unmanned aircraft systems.
Dr. Quirk, you may open.
Thank you, Speaker and members. AB 1820 will regulate the use of unmanned aircraft systems by requiring law enforcement to develop policy on their operations and requiring a warrant for use over private property. While they have the potential to be of great benefit, such as monitoring wildfires and assessing bomb threats, and there is a potential for abuse. This bill establishes a baseline regulatory process. Since the bill's in production, I've worked to address the concerns of law enforcement, that on the one side, and groups concerned with privacy on the other. Privacy groups, in order to remove their opposition, would like me to introduce restrictions even greater than the bill I jointly authored with Republican Assemblymember Gorell in 2014. Members, that bill was vetoed by the governor. Law enforcement has expressed concerns over restrictions in the bill on cross-jurisdictional use of drones. On April 11th, I took amendments to allow drones to be used in these situations if there's a written agreement between the agencies. Law enforcement expressed concerns with language requiring the policy be presented at a meeting of the governing body. Last week, I took amendments to address this concern by eliminating the requirement the policy be presented at a meeting of the governing body and instead created a different process to allow for public input. I want to be clear that I've tried to work with law enforcement opposition. To date, I have not received any counter-amendment languages to consider. However, I will continue to meet and discuss their concerns to see how much more of their concerns we can meet. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Dr. Quirk. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. Dr. Quirk?
The call.
Dr. Quirk moves the call. File item 30. File item 31, pass and retain. We've dispensed with file item 32. File items 33 through 37, pass and retain. File item 38 is AB 2815 by Mr. O'Donnell. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2815 by Assemblymember O'Donnell and accolating the pupil attendance.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 2815 updates the role and duties of school district and county attendance officers. Their role under current law is to focus on compliance of truancy and work permit laws. This was established in 1976. This bill updates the role of attendance supervisors to reflect the supportive role they can and should provide in order to ensure students attend school and stay in school. The strategies in the bill were recommendations developed by the State School Attendance Review Board. The bill passed with no votes in the Assembly Education Committee, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 65, no 0. Measure passes. File item 39, pass and retain. File item 40, AB 2230. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2230 by Assemblymember Canson Chu and accolating workers' compensation.
Mr. Chu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 2230 simply make clarifying changes to the Labor Code to expressly prohibit workers' compensation interpreters from sharing attorney-client privilege communications. Earlier this month, I took amendments in the Insurance Committee that removed all opposition to this bill. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chu. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 70, no 0. Measure passes. File item 41, AB 1954. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1954 by Assemblymember Burke and accolating the health care coverage.
Ms. Burke, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. For many women, reproductive health care is primary care. Nearly 3/4 of women of reproductive age in the nation receive at least one sexual or reproductive health service each year. While some health plans allow direct access to a reproductive health care provider, others require patients to first get a referral from their primary care physician. The variation in policy has created a patchwork of coverage and access to care. AB 1954 builds on the current state and federal laws by prohibiting referral requirements for in-network reproductive health care. By removing the unnecessary administrative barriers that cause delays in care and leveling the playing field across health plans, Californians will have more equitable access to time-sensitive reproductive and sexual health care services. I respectfully request your aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Burke. Seeing no discussion on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 49, no 17. Measure passes. File item 42, pass and retain. We're moving to file item 43, AB 2693. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2693 by Assemblymember DeBobney and others, an act relating to property improvements.
Mr. DeBobney, you may open.
Speaker and members, today I'm presenting AB 2693, the Pace Preservation and Consumer Protection Act. AB 2693 is a bill that positively impacts the PACE program by implementing much-needed consumer protections. AB 2693 establishes a uniform disclosure that must be provided to each homeowner prior to participating in the PACE program. The disclosure will ask providers to notify consumers of the product's costs, financing costs, annual percentage rates, as well as other costs and fees. I have heard countless stories from across our state from consumers who took out the PACE loan and were unaware that it adds a lien to their property, or unaware that they would not be able to sell or refinance their home without first paying off that lien in its entirety. I fully support the PACE program and its goals of reducing our state's carbon footprint. It is undeniable that the PACE program has allowed thousands of Californians to purchase energy efficiency upgrades for their homes that they would not otherwise be able to. However, the only way to ensure that the program continues to succeed and be sustainable for all members of our community is by enacting strong consumer protections. When this program was originally passed, it was done so with the understanding that county governments would run the program. But we have seen this develop into a program that has been contracted out to for-profit companies. Because of this, we need stronger protections for our constituents and the consumers of this program. The measure passed out of the Assembly Banking and Finance Committee with an 11-1 vote, and the Assembly Local Government Committee with a 9-0 vote. I respectfully ask for your aye vote today.
Thank you, Mr. DeBobney. I'm sorry, Ms. Grove, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, too, rise in support of this bill and applaud the author. I met with a lot of constituents in my district who had been the subject of victims of these loans, and with truth in lending disclosures that this bill offers, it'll help that from happening in the future. When you look at some of the PACE loans, somebody came in and put in reflective tape and some caulking around a window, and it created a super lien on their mortgage. So when they sold it, they had to pay off that super lien or the lien that was owed, and the interest rate was about 11%. So some of our low-income residents, some of the individuals that are individuals in the elderly community, there's an issue with truth and disclosure lending. And so I would ask this for everybody to vote aye on this bill.
Thank you, Ms. Grove. Ms. Gonzalez.
I'm going to rise in support of this bill, but I want to be clear. I think a lot of times when we talk about PACE loans, we're talking about all of the solar loans that come through and the financing behind solar loans, most of which don't have the protections that the PACE program currently has. And so I want to be sure when we talk about 11% loan, I'm fairly certain that wasn't a PACE loan. A lot of these financing structures that solar companies are using in order to get regular folks to be able to access this come in different forms. They're not all, in fact, a vast majority of them are not PACE loans, and the PACE loans may be doing a better job of consumer protection than many of the companies out there who are financing the things that are being put on our rooftops. So I want to be clear, I'm absolutely in support of this legislation, but it's something that needs to be extended for all of the solar financing that's happening in our communities, and a lot of which we're hearing about today. So I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Seeing no additional discussion or debate on the item, Mr. DeBobney, you may close if you wish.
I would just ask for your aye vote for this pro-environmental bill. Thank you so much.
With that, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 68, no 0. Measure passes. File item 44, pass and retain. File item 45, AB 1557 by Mr. Mathis. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1557 by Assemblymember Mathis and others, and act relating to school facilities.
Mr. Mathis.
Mr. Speaker and members, AB 1557 is very simple. This is about helping our after-school programs, our youth football teams, all of our youth sports teams. This recreational use, this is the lifeblood for our youth. This helps keep them off the streets, and all this bill simply is doing is keeping the cost down to ensure that we're protecting our kids and their future. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 71, no 0. Measure passes. File items 46 through 50 pass and retain. File item 51, AB 1985 by Mr. Williams. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1985 by Assemblymember Williams, and an advanced placement credit.
Mr. Williams, you may open.
Mr. Speaker, members, today I'm presenting a bill that will streamline the AP credit process for students that attend a community college in California. Today, advanced placement exam credit and placement policies are different on every different college campus in the system. These differing policies create confusion for underserved students who attend a community college and also costs them money and, even more importantly than that, time. Most students are not aware that different college districts have different AP credit policies, and their choice of community college can result in the student having to retake introductory courses that they've already demonstrated competence in. In an era of tuition increases, impacted classrooms, and lengthy time to transfer and degree, this is truly unnecessary. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Wagner, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Regrettably, I have to rise in opposition to what is a well-intentioned bill and designed to, in some ways, reduce the cost of education, higher education. Nevertheless, it's got an unfortunate side effect, and the unfortunate side effect is this. We are intruding upon the concept of academic freedom. We're intruding upon the rights that are enshrined in laws that we've passed that allow our professors at our community colleges to decide, in fact, what is or is not a sufficient grade in a particular subject. We're not the experts in any of those subjects. We've recognized that, and historically in this country, we've recognized the importance of academic freedom, meaning the right of the professors to decide for themselves. And if for some reason the professors in one community college district in one part of the country, one part of the state decide that a particular number is what is passing, and in another part of the state decide another number is passing, we ought to respect that. Historically, we have, and it's very unfortunate that we take this step today to disrespect the teachers who are the ones charged under state law with making this decision. Now, I think a very good discussion for all of us to have is why in the world we have over 70 community college districts in this state with 70 different answers to this particular question. We can talk about streamlining. Why, for example, in my county of Orange, which is somewhat homogeneous, are there 4 community college districts? I understand that the issues in Orange County are different than the issues in, say, Lassen County. We shouldn't have a one-size-fits-all, and that's why we have multiple community colleges. We can talk about streamlining them, but we shouldn't talk about Sacramento riding herd over our professors, throwing academic freedom out of the window and saying, we're going to decide for your class for all time what is a passing grade. That's not our role. It doesn't do justice to the issues of academic freedom that otherwise are indeed very important. I urge a no vote. Let's come back and rethink this a little bit later and maybe examine the entire more broad question.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. Seeing no additional discussion or debate on the item, Mr. Williams, you may close.
Well, anything that we can do to allow students to move faster through the system will have some consequences. And in this case, the consequence is that the community college system will say a 3 or a 4 is sufficient to move on to an upper division course. Members, I would submit to you when these students, and increasingly AP courses are not just being taken by high achievers, they're being taken by students in high schools that need to move faster through and cannot afford to take 3 or 4 or 5 years to get 2 years worth of credit in their community college. Members, if a 3 is good enough for UC Berkeley and every UC, and it's good for enough for every CSU, I wonder why there's a handful of community colleges that say, no, we need a 5 for you to demonstrate competence. Otherwise, we're going to make you retake the courses. And then a whole plethora that require 4s. I ask for your aye vote.
With that, clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 66, noes 2. Measure passes. File items 52 and 53 pass and retain. File item 54, AB 2313. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2313 by Assemblymember Williams, an act relating to renewable energy resources.
Mr. Williams, you may again open.
Mr. Speaker, members, briefly, this bill helps defray the cost for biomethane projects to interconnect to common carrier pipelines. In 2014, the PUC adopted a ratepayer-funded incentive to help cover interconnection costs. This incentive, unfortunately, was too low for any producer to take advantage of it. So this bill will increase the cap to $3 million for an individual project or $5 million for a dairy cluster project. These are amounts that producers say would truly change the economics of a biomethane project. And as California uses more than 2 trillion cubic feet of natural gas per year, it's time that we aggressively start to incentivize carbon-neutral alternatives. I ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Daly, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to rise in support of AB 2313. I worked real close with the Assembly member that's bringing this bill forward, and I just want to let the Republicans know that I think this is a good bill. The money's already in the pot, and we just need to exercise the right to spend it, and it gives dairy digesters an opportunity to access these funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daly. Seeing no additional discussion or debate on the item, Mr. Williams, you may close if you wish.
I just want to thank my colleague, the Assembly member from that great big mountain of Shasta, for his support, and ask for your aye vote.
Clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 50, noes 15. Measure passes. File item 55, AB 2437. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2437 by Assemblymember Ting, an act relating to barbering and cosmetology.
Mr. Ting, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AB 2437 helps educate nail salon workers about their worker rights. Oftentimes we have nail salon workers who complain about being confused whether they're independent contractors or actually employees. So this instructs the labor commissioner to ask every nail salon to put signs to educate workers in their stores, and also ask the labor commissioner to develop protocols about how better to develop an education program specifically for nail salon workers. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Ting. Seeing no discussion or debate on the item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 44, noes 24. Measure passes. File item 56, pass and retain. File item 57, AB 2594. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2594 by Assemblymember Gordon, an act relating to stormwater.
Mr. Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, regardless of whether our drought is over or not, California will continue to face water challenges in its future, and therefore must explore a multitude of water supply options that can provide our citizens with safe and high-quality water. Improved stormwater capture is one of the most important sources of new water that California can harness to diversify our water portfolio and increase overall supply in a drier future. According to a report from the NRDC, better stormwater capture could increase statewide water supply by over 200 billion gallons, roughly equivalent to the amount of water used by the entire city of Los Angeles annually. It's almost perverse that in this time of water scarcity, we watch so much fresh water flow out to the ocean instead of being used in our communities. AB 2594 would provide legal clarity to public entities about how they may use captured stormwater instead of releasing it into the ocean. And it could provide local financing mechanism for stormwater capture projects. This bill has been worked on by a multi-stakeholder group, which includes cities, counties, water agencies, environmental groups, and water experts from across the state. I believe firmly that stormwater must be viewed not as waste in our communities, but rather as a powerful new source of water capable of reducing the impacts of drought. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the vote. Ayes 48, noes 8. Measure passes. We've dispensed with file item 58. 59 is passed and retained. File item 60, AB 1691. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1691 by Assemblymember Gibson and others, and act relating to vehicular air pollution.
Mr. Gibson, you may open.
Mr. Speaker and members, AB 1691 seeks to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the Enhanced Fleet Modernization Program known as the EFMP and the EFMP Plus Up program. This program is designed to help disadvantaged communities replace vehicles that are polluting the environment by providing low, moderate income people with clean vehicles. This bill will establish a common framework so that the program operators and more efficiencies and better equipment can be replaced on the streets of California. This bill will help to improve the air quality in disadvantaged communities and make clean vehicles more mainstream. This bill received bipartisan support and received no opposition. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Seeing no discussion or debate on this item, clerk will open the roll. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. All members vote or desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 52, noes 14. Measure passes. File items 61 and 62 passed and retained. File item 63, AB 1693 by Ms. Gonzalez. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1693 by Assemblymember Gonzalez, an act relating to payment of claims against the state, making an appropriation therefore, declaring the urgency thereof to take effect immediately.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AB 1693 is the annual appropriations bill for the Department of Justice settlements. This year, we must appropriate $10.6 million to satisfy DOJ settlements in 2 cases, Pacific Merchant Shipping Association versus the Board of Pilot Commissioners for the Bays of San Francisco, and Ruelas versus State of California. These settlements were entered into by the Department of Justice and are binding state obligations. I want to be clear. This vote has nothing to do with liking or not liking the settlement reached. It's our duty to allocate funds to avoid wasting possibly thousands of additional tax dollars every single day that we don't vote on this. This is a 2/3 bill, and it has nothing to do, again, with the circumstances of the settlement. This has to do with paying the bills that are owed by the state of California. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Bigelow, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise as the Vice Chair of the Appropriations Committee, and we did hear this throughout committee, and all the Republicans did lay off on this particular issue. In particular, I'll just speak for myself. I'm not one that really bodes well with these type of settlements, but in this particular case, these are dollars that are already adjudicated and set forth, so we must step forward as a body and appropriate these funds. So I encourage an aye vote on this.
Ms. Grove, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Question of the author.
Without objection.
It says in the analysis, and if it's incorrect, I'd just like you to point it out. It says out of the $10 million settlement, the plaintiffs, or the people that were harmed, got $1.2 million, and the attorneys got $8.5 million. Is that true?
If it says so in the analysis, I believe that's true. Again, this has nothing to do with whether or not we agree, and we could have a different, robust conversation about what we would all do if we were the Attorney General or settling that case. This absolutely has to do with the fact that it was legally entered into. It is an obligation of the state, and every day we don't pass this, the state is on the hook for thousands of dollars more. So yes, that is the case. And is it disgusting? From my point of view, absolutely, but it is an obligation we must pay.
Thank you. On my own time, I appreciate that we have to pay our obligations. I think everybody should have to pay their obligations, but I think it's time this body stand up to unscrupulous attorneys that are ripping everybody off. I think $8.5 million to attorneys when the plaintiffs in the case only got $1.5 million is absurd. And being the largest employer in the state, being the state of California, we should stand up and say no to these individuals who are just taking advantage of people that are hurt within the system. And I do agree that we may not agree with the settlement, and we do have obligations to pay, but it's time that we stand up and say no to these attorneys that are doing this.
Mr. Obernolte, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of AB 1693. Colleagues, as much as we might dislike appropriating money to pay these claims, these are legal obligations of the state of California. If we fail to pay them, we subject the state to higher expenses in the future, including interest and the possibility of future litigation. I therefore urge an aye vote.
Thank you, Mr. Obernolte. Seeing no additional discussion or debate, Ms. Gonzalez, you may close if you wish.
I just ask that we do what we're supposed to do in this body and vote aye. Thank you.
With that, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. Tally the vote. Ayes 65, noes 2 on the urgency. Ayes 65, noes 2 on the bill. Measure passes. File item 64, AB 1748. Clerk will read.